The good part is, I mean, we have a lot of craziness that's coming up to it, like especially when it comes to Venezuela and Nigeria. Just think about this: he is threatening Nigeria not because they're killing Americans,
Yeah,
but Christians.
just Christians. Yeah,
Christians. Think about
yeah.
that. It's like, why is Vladimir Putin attacking Ukraine? Because they're supposedly not allowing them to speak Russian, not because they're killing Russians or attacking, but because they said that in Ukraine the national language should be Ukrainian, and because of that they said, well, so here's the same thing here. We're going to save now Christians around the world,
Yeah.
Americans, Christians.
Yeah, not Americans, not American Muslims, not American agnostics, not American Protestants, just the Christians. He's only interested in protecting the Christians. Welcome to the weekend roundup with my friend Lev Parnas, former Trump fixer, award-winning whistleblower, author, and all-around mensch. Fuck, I love this guy. Thanks for doing this. Great to see you again. He's live from Florida. I'm live from Toronto. My name is Dean. DeanBlundell.substack.com. Free or paid, we're happy you're here. You need to subscribe to be able to chat. You need to subscribe for us to bring you in. We're going to get to a couple of questions, not like this weekend's inaugural. By the way, runaway Substack Live. That
That was
coffee
great.
and tea with Levin Dean was fucking great, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's what I think our routine should be. We should do coffee and tea with me on Saturdays, and Mondays do the same thing, where this way we can bring your subscribers and my subscribers. This way we give them both an opportunity to come up, to participate and join. Absolutely, I think it's great. I think we just did one actually with Alexander, with live from Ukraine, and I told him to come up, join us whenever he gets a chance, if he's up here also. But yeah, it was incredible because you're really now allowing people to just get up there, get some shit off their chest. Like,
Yeah.
some they just need to say, we're this is where we live, and to be able to even type something to communicate, ask the questions. I think it's a new great way of being able to do these things, and this way you get the best of both worlds, because you're able, as a subscriber, you could just sit there and watch and pass the message on. But as a paid subscriber, because you're supporting it, now you have the little extra perks to be able to communicate with us and go in and really into the question. So I love it. I think it's
Yeah,
great.
I did too. You know what I thought was great is that we brought Cheech in. He's like a hardcore Lev sub dude, and he did the podcast with us. So what I loved about it was that we're doing these Substack Live subscriber co-host opportunities for people to come on and rant and rave, get stuff off your chest. Because, like I said yesterday, we do these and we kind of disseminate some information, the things that are most important analytically, topically, things that are important to Americans, to freedom, to democracy. But we do it from different perspectives because we have different information, right? We don't ever really touch base or get right into it with the people who really are affected, but we are them. They are us. I mean, the reason why we're fighting back is the same reason why guys like Cheech wanted to come on and speak his piece. Same reason why that entire Q&A was literally driven by the entire Substack Live on the weekend. Encourage everybody to go get it. Coffee and tea with Lev and Dean. A real conversational sort of, hey, let's take the pulse of the people. And people getting a chance to actually converse and voice their opinion when there are more than six people in the room. There could be 20, 30, 40,000 people that watch these things. I noticed a real difference in attitude from some of the people that came back, and they said, "Oh, thank God for giving us a voice." Like part of this, exercise that we do is giving people information they're not getting anywhere else. The other part of that equation to sort of help bring people together is allowing people to drive that process, right? Which is what I really fucking loved about coffee and tea. I thought it was phenomenal this weekend.
Yeah, no, I love the interaction, and I also love being able to interact with our, because, this is more than just a community. It's become a family. We become, a movement,
Mm.
and we talk about it, but, it's great to be able, because also we have so much incredible minds out there and all over the world that are our subscribers that have great ideas come up, and this is part of, because we're all in on this. We're all in trying to save, our democracy. But listen, why don't we start off with, first of all, I'm not gonna rub it in, because I just want to say one thing. That was the greatest, probably one, as a Yankee fan. I'm going to really say that was probably one of the greatest worlds, if not, I mean, that I've witnessed.
Yeah,
I mean, of the play back and forth. I mean, just the fact that to stand up to. I mean, if you just think about their four of their pitchers are getting paid more than $1 billion. Top four pitchers in all of the league combined
yeah.
over $1 billion salary, and to be able to. I mean, you guys had your chances, and I thought you guys had it. I thought it was, but that's baseball. It's part of baseball. That's
Oh,
that.
what a way to say it. Yeah, the Dodgers win the World Series game 7. It went in extras. It was an epic series. It was the best baseball series I've ever seen. It was the best baseball I've ever seen, offensively, defensively. And I haven't been able to watch one single fucking highlight since then. So thanks for bringing it up. Really appreciate it. I have not been able to read an article on it. Schmidt called me yesterday, Steve Schmidt. He's like, "Well, how we feeling?" And I'm like, dude, I'm angry still. Like, I can't bring myself to watch anything. And what he said, I thought, is a great way to kind of summarize it. And I appreciate the condolences for my Blue Jays losing in 7 to the Dodgers as they repeated. Congratulations to the Dodgers. You're right. The disparity between who gets paid what between different teams. Toronto should not hang their heads in shame at all. And I think that they've arrived. They made that big announcement. That was something that fucking Steve said yesterday. He's like, dude, that was a statement. This year was a statement for the Toronto Blue Jays that they're done messing around. They're going to be a dynasty for a long period of time if they can kind of keep it together. But more importantly, I loved the run. Like to have Canada's team, knowing the geopolitical mess that we're kind of dealing with right now, and the heat between both countries, to watch countries come together. Between Canada's only Major League Baseball team and the highest paid team in Major League Baseball, and all the the bullshit narratives that run around it, to see people come together around baseball. You saw the importance of baseball, not just to America, but to
Yeah.
North Americans, right? I thought it was brilliant. So I appreciate it. And you're right. It was some of the best baseball I've ever seen.
Yeah, so definitely, as Toronto Blue Jay fans, you guys have keep your heads high. I mean, that was just an incredible game. I mean, look, you beat some of the best teams out there. You beat starting off with my Yankees. Like you had
Sorry,
to go.
dude.
I mean, just think about the pitching you guys went through between the
Yeah.
Yankees, the Dodgers. I mean, it was all kind. So anyway, yeah. Listen, you guys, it was something you guys could definitely hold your heads up high. I think you have a bright future in Toronto. Unless the Dodgers go buy out, another couple of
Yeah.
billion, player.
Well, I think at
It's
this point
crazy.
we're worried they're going to take Bo Bichette away from us in free agency. That's our concern.
It's just so crazy the dollars that's being spent on I mean, some of these contracts are
Yeah.
just. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's one thing. You used to watch these players make money. They'd make a contract, then they go out there and make money on advertising and all this stuff. Now it's like they don't even do commercials anymore. They don't need to. It's like they get these contracts are just like off the rails. So. But again, hats off. It was interesting to watch, the orange butthead over there all of a sudden chime in and try to congratulate the Dodgers, hoping that they're going to come to the. I mean, just think of the idiot. First, he
Did he
tells,
put that out? I didn't even see that. Did he
yeah.
congratulate the Dodgers and then eventually invite them to the White House? Because he told them they weren't allowed to go if they
Well,
won.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean,
Yeah.
he's becoming so senile. I don't think he remembers that he uninvited them and told them it doesn't matter who wins. No, neither one of you are coming. And then obviously he jumped in. Uh, did he congratulate I know he congratulated the ownership. The Dodger ownership.
Yeah,
I
because he
know.
knows the
I know.
players
I
aren't going
know.
to give him money, but the ownership will.
Right. Yes, I know definitely he congratulated the ownership, but I don't know if we have to take
Does he know
a
the
look at
owners
his
don't
tweet
play? Does he know
exactly and
Magic
see.
Johnson can't play outfield? He can't DH. He can't pitch. Does he know that? No, he doesn't. He does, but he
Uh,
doesn't care. It's fucking crazy, man. You know what? Let's get to it because the weekend we
yeah.
like we see the dementia and the display of crazy every weekend, but a couple of things happened this weekend. I want to start with 60 minutes, and then I want to get to the JP Morgan stuff. It's all about the Epstein files, right? Everything. This guy is on the run. He is petrified. He is shitting his diaper. He is super concerned. He's threatening to start wars with Venezuela. We'll get to that as well because it's also on the docket today for the weekend roundup because we had some developments. But let's talk about that 60 minutes interview. I don't know that I've ever seen anything. And I've seen crazy from him. Like it seems like every weekend, Lev, we're standing here going, okay, this was the craziest, right? Like this was the most nutso the dude's ever been. But not only is he being panned for lying from everything about not knowing that he pardoned CZ from Binance to help start his World Liberty crypto grift steal
No,
organization.
no, no, no. Let me stop you. Let me stop you right
Okay,
there.
would
Just
you
for a
want to
second.
start there? Okay, yeah.
No, no, wait, no. Wait, I just want to say how he said. He goes, "Let me stop you. Are you ready for this? I know nothing about it. I don't know the guy. That's why I pardoned him. All right, all right. Let me make it clear to you. So I get. So you want to hear something funny? I get like a text message from my lawyers. Some of my lawyers text messaging saying, "Dude, I think you're gonna get pardoned." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, if he doesn't know the guy, he doesn't know you. Maybe he'll pardon. Let's ask him for a pardon. And he doesn't know you. Like, let him maybe." He can't make this. Go ahead. I just
You know,
because
it just
he
well,
stopped her.
no.
He stopped her and said, "Wait, let me." Like he stopped the interview and said,
Are
"Let me.
you
Let me.
ready?
Are you
I have
ready?"
no idea. Nora O'Donnell put on a masterclass. It was a 60 minutes interview. This is the very first 60 minutes interview post fleecing of the entire 60 minutes staff and the editor and anybody with any moxie or character in the installation of Barry Weiss. And so I thought I was expecting someone else, but let's start there because he went in on on tariffs. He talked about obliterating Iran. I mean, it was just this calculated, dementia laden, low energy, like dude couldn't finish a sentence, lie after lie after lie after lie. But the one lie that is on fire today is the pardon lie, where Nora O'Donnell said, listen, you pardoned the CEO of Binance. This is a guy named CZ. Zheng Cheng Pao is his name. Canadian dude, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, there's a little Canada tie there. You pardoned this guy who ended up giving you $75 million dollars for your World Liberty crypto thing. And he did 4 months and pled guilty. And he goes, wait, I need to stop you to your point. And he goes, are you ready for this?
Are you ready? I know.
I know nothing. I don't know him. I have no idea about that pardon. And she's like, well, wait a second. You don't know that you pardoned that guy? Well, I mean, I don't. And then he literally stumbled through his words and then goes, well, Don Jr. and Eric are allowed to do business with anyone they want. And I have no idea who this man is.
That dude, that is exactly. I welcome all of you. I'm gonna try to see if my wife could help me put this together. But I'm gonna give you guys a play-by-play. In 2019, when I got arrested, this was the same Donald Trump. They would ask him. They say, "Hey, you know Lev Parnas, the guy?" He goes, "Who?" I don't know that guy. No, no, what do you mean, love partners? You got pictures. Oh, I got pictures with thousands. I got pictures with you people here. You see, you're taking pictures with me here. Yeah, yeah, but left partners, Rudy Giuliani's got in Ukraine. Like, he might be a fine gentleman for all we know, but I don't know the guy. I've never met him. This is identical to like what you saw yesterday. That's why my attorney said to him, maybe you'll get a pardon because
Wouldn't that be fucking sweet?
because he doesn't know you. You're right, Mary. Mary said I don't have the 75 million. Maybe we should do a GoFundMe. Let's raise 75 million and say, "Well, you pardon?" I'm joking, guys. I wouldn't. You know what? I want to be honest with you. Uh, if I would have, I'm gonna take you back for a second. In 2019, when I got arrested, and when I got rid of his lawyers that he gave me, John Dowd and Downing and all of his lawyers, and I was sitting there in my cell at one point with no lawyers, and then I ended up getting my angel, my lawyer that I've, thank God I was able to get, that I've known for many many years, Joe Bondi. The one thing that at that time that was being not only thrown at me, promised me, guaranteed me, was that if I just shut up and I play ball, that I will get a pardon. So as you could see, everybody that's played ball has gotten a pardon. And one of the decisions that I made at that time was, if I wanted a pardon, believe me, I would have gotten a pardon at that point. And done been a bad guy, but I decided I didn't want a pardon from Donald Trump because I didn't want to go down in history, being associated with that type of a situation. Now, would I have liked to have gotten a pardon from Joe Biden? I think I absolutely, definitely deserved a pardon from Joe Biden. As far as what happened in his last days with that whole pardon thing, that's maybe a story for one day that we will all talk about. You know what I'm saying to you, and why he chose to pardon, who he chose to pardon, and how he chose to do it, and so. Um, but I could tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire, Dean. So,
Yeah, no shit. I mean, he just admitted it, right? Like that's the thing is that like I've watched that for the last 3 months. Trump and his proxies go after Joe Biden, including replacing his picture on the wall of the White House with an auto pen. And now we're in the same territory where not only does Trump not have any recollection, according to him, of who he's pardoned, not only does he have no idea who this guy is that gave him $75 million, not only does he have no clue, like no clue who CZ is, CZ somehow is in business, like legitimate business with both of his sons. CZ pled guilty to money laundering billions of dollars and rugging millions of people
for
through a
Hamas,
crypto scheme from Binance. And now
for
I'm
Hamas,
sitting. What's that?
for Hamas too.
Well, that's what I want to. That's what I'm asking you. Like, how does
Yeah.
that work? You know these people. You've probably got an inkling of who pays who and how they funnel the money and where it goes and how much CZ had to give Donald Trump and what this means for CZ's
Uh,
agency. Like, I mean,
Dude,
everybody
love
loses
that.
their freedom,
Literally,
right?
I guarantee you, he doesn't know. He doesn't. He doesn't know him. I mean, that's what I'm saying to you. Right now, there's a machine going out there. People are getting pardoned, done. Things are happening. People are. By the way, Michael Cohen is up here joining us. I don't know if he wants to come up. See if he wants to come up, join us for a
Yeah,
little
sure.
bit. I don't know if Michael's here. Michael, if you're here, come join us. But definitely, let me just put it to you this way: that uh, the f- the fact that he's able to literally go after Joe Biden for the auto pen part, and then turn around and say, "Stop! Let me get this straight. I don't know who the hell this guy is, and Eric and Dom could do business with him." The fact that that's not 24 hours every day right now, wrapping around everywhere, every reporter is not asking questions, and like literally, there's not like a walkout by every reporter without like just literally getting to the bottom and say, wait a second, wait a second, like how, what do you mean you don't know, why'd you part, like what do you mean, like what is the fact that there's not Congress right now, like there's not an uproar about all of that, that just shows you the world that we live in. It shows you
Mhm.
that people are just so uh used to all the crazy shit that goes on, and they're just so already used to with the media being the one day press release or press conference that nobody really is doing anything about. That's why one of the things that me have spoken behind the scenes, and we've discussed it. And for those of you that have read my letter earlier today, for those of you later tonight, 8, 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a special Love Remembers Live, where I'm going to start telling you enough with the talking. We're going to get into action, and we're going to start formulating a plan. Dean Blundell is part of that plan. He's my partner and family in what we're putting together with others behind the scenes to be able to go out there and spread the message. And the message is, folks, the platform, what we're here to talk about, is not about the left or the right. It's not about policies. It's about the fact that we need to stop dictatorship. We need to unite together to bring our country back to we could have an opportunity to get back to the table where we could agree to disagree, where we could sit there, debate policies, where we could go a little bit left. But right now, we don't have that opportunity, because right now we're being taken over by a dictator. We've been taken over by a dictatorship. He's turning himself into a monarch, into a king, and the fact that there's nobody out there. Just think about, and this is a simple thing that
Well,
we're.
and to your point, if you lean into the auto pen issue, you lean into the pardon issue when it comes to CZ. And by the way, Michael, I've been trying to invite you for a while. I'm trying. It says you're not available. It says I'm still waiting for you. So maybe just reset it and try it again. I'll invite you again. Yeah. Sorry, folks. We're trying to bring Michael in. It seems like Donald Trump is the figurehead for the mafia. It seems like Donald Trump is the figurehead for the Trump regime. It seems like Donald Trump, to your point, probably had no idea who this guy was, which is by design. But that presents a whole other set of issues for the average American, where he's monetizing pardons and we know he's doing it, right? But I want to know how. Like, how is this happening? How has he been able to continually pardon people who have millions of dollars, who have the ability to help Donald Trump post pardon, no matter who they are, millions and millions and millions of dollars? How has he been able to do this? And was this always part of the fucking plan? Right? Like pardoning J6ers and then hiring a large portion of them to act as ICE agents, hiring or pardoning the Chrisley family. They gave him money. Pardoning a young man who got into trouble for laundering money for buying a yacht and got $1 million donation from his mother at Mar-a-Lago 3 or 4 months ago. And all of a sudden, she makes $1 million donation. I mean, like this is exactly what the founding fathers were afraid of. This is exactly the problem with Donald Trump. And it's runaway corruption that nobody seems to give a shit about. And we see it on 60 Minutes, Lev. And I'm like, okay, great. We know what's going on. Can someone show us a paper trail or explain to us how this is working? Because this is not just brazen corruption. This is absolutely fucking deadly business. This is the kind of shit that your entire country is at risk because of that foreign money, because of those relationships, because this is untraced, and because getting paid is the only fucking thing that matters to him. He's making the United States of America a more dangerous place all the fucking time. We appear. Hang on, everybody. We lost Mr. Parnas. Gonna try and get him back. Try and get Michael Cohen in. Da-da-da-da-da. Waiting for Michael, waiting for Lev. See if we can't bring these two gentlemen back. I hope we can. But is there anything else that you didn't see in that interview this weekend, in that 60 Minutes debacle by Donald Trump? Were there any other questions anybody else that anybody that watched that interview had, other than how is this happening? Not me. Those are the only things that I gave a shit about. Those are the only things that I cared about. Reading that entire thing this weekend, watching 60 Minutes. It was unbelievable. It was truly unbelievable. I think we got him back now. There you go. What happened? Where'd you go?
I don't know.
Oh, I think we got a Cohen too.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Substack did
Hey,
that to me a
Dean.
couple,
Hey, buddy.
couple days ago. Also, I couldn't bring anybody up. I was doing a live space, and it does that. The glitches, but we got everybody here.
And you got a chance to finish your pastry, I hope.
By the way, did you notice on every one of these Substacks, Lev is either eating or drinking?
Dude, I
He's
have
like the he's
that's
like the
my
hungriest
I have
he's the hungriest
breakfast.
Substack host around.
Dude, this is my breakfast. I don't get a chance. I've already done 2 live, written 3 letters. I can't even I don't even know what planet I'm on right now. I feel like it's like
It's called
usually
Planet
breakfast.
Earth, and what you're eating is no good. Let's see what donut you're eating.
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ!
it looks
It's
like an
actually
apple
All of you
turnover.
folks, you got about
it's
800
an
people on that
it's
right
an
now.
egg
You
salad.
have
It's
800 people that are saying, "Lev, you eat like shit." All right,
no, no. First of all,
eat a
it's an
fucking
egg salad.
carrot.
It's an egg
Eat a
salad. Thank you.
fucking carrot.
Second of all, I've lost over 25 pounds. I am doing much better, so I feel better. So, but
All right.
anyway,
Well, you look good. Colin, nice to see you, buddy. How you feeling? You all right?
You
Did you
know,
watch did you watch your former boss on 60 Minutes? We're just reveling in the pardon circus.
so I did, and like Lev was talking, I too am somewhat disappointed, uh, more like nauseated with Joe Biden's team that were handling the pardon office, those that were around him that were making the decisions, completely ignored everyone who legitimately deserved it, except for Hunter, his son. And by the way, I understand a father wanting to protect his son, right? Especially one who's as fucked up as Hunter is. I certainly get it, and I appreciate that as a father myself. But that doesn't mean you do it to the exclusion of everyone else. In my pardon application, in all pardon applications,
Did you
they
guys
ask you
both
to,
apply to Biden for pardons? Is that what
yeah,
I'm getting here? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I applied. I had 7 letters of recommendation to Joe Biden. 2 members of Congress, Norm Eisen, Larry Tribe, Asha Rangappa. I had John Dean, Nick Ackerman. I mean, you're talking about 7 individuals with massive, massive both relationships to the previous administration as well as international and national recognition, all turning around saying the same thing. If there's anybody that's deserving of it, it's the person who we are writing this letter on behalf of. No acknowledgement, nothing, nothing. All you get is the second that he left the White House at exactly 12:01, like Lev, I got an email that says denied. Denied. You're talking about 6, 7 months of preparation on this document for a one word denial, despite the fact that he gave his son this blanket pardon, when in fact his son really wasn't deserving of it, other than just having the right last name. So if you think about it, at least Trump is monetizing it, right? I mean, as sick as that may sound, Joe Biden didn't do anything like that. He just gave his son by the way, a pardon, despite the fact there wasn't even a conviction, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah,
The
but he
whole
also
thing is
pardoned
just
Anthony
crazy.
Fauci, who all he did was try to save America from fucking COVID. Like, like he pre-pardoned a lot of dudes, right, and women that were involved in the administration who, Trump said he was going to absolutely go after. And to his credit, he's been true to that by
Yeah.
and large. And if without those pardons, I bet you Anthony Fauci's indicted. I bet you he gets perp walk.
Oh, he's
Or
definitely. Oh, there.
yeah,
Listen, I can tell you, there's so much. See, a little bit like Michael, I was a little bit more involved in that whole thing, and I can't go into a lot of the details because just leave it at that. Because especially with everything that's going out, due to my legal advices, I'll just wanna keep quiet for now. Of everything that transpired during that time period. But I could tell you this much. I could tell you that uh, definitely Trump knows a lot more than is being told. They have people inside the Biden camp that are, saying things, and that's why you're saying about it. Now, I have no issue. That's why I said I disagree with Michael on a little bit that, I would have pardoned Biden Hunter myself. Doesn't matter, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't do anything, and the attack that we put on Hunter, and the way we destroyed his life, the fact that he was looking to do 20 years or 9 years or 7 years for that tax evasion case, which he paid back the money, and a gun charge that would have never got charged on anybody else. So I disagree. I definitely think he should have got pardoned. I think the way they did it was
I'm
wrong.
so
And
sorry, Lev. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but who did you kill?
no,
What
no, but
gun
I'm
did
not.
you
No, no,
hold on?
no, no.
Who
But
did
what I'm
you
saying, no,
kill?
no, no.
Hold
I'm not
on. No,
disagreeing.
no, no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
disagreeing with you.
no,
No, no.
no, 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 no,
Listen,
no,
son.
Lev.
I'm
Who
not
did you
disagreeing. No, you gotta listen.
Okay,
I'm
but
not.
who did you kill?
Nobody. But what I'm
What
saying to you,
gun what gun was in your possession at any point in your entire life?
what I'm saying to you is, I don't disagree with you about other situations. What I'm disagreeing and saying that Hunter should have got pardoned. what he should, and he should have pardoned him just like Trump did it from the beginning. He shouldn't have said, I'm not going to pardon him. He shouldn't have lied to the people and say it's not going to happen, because all of these theatrics that they play out and the way they did have allowed Trump and this MAGA invasion to do what they're doing. With that said, I agree with you that yes, neither you nor I killed anybody. Neither you or I did. And if you really want to talk about it, I mean, both of us, even if you agree or disagree with our cases, are political cases. Because if you were not President Trump's lawyer at the time, you would have never got indicted for the crimes that you got indicted. You would have never went to prison. Your wife would have never been worried about it because it was a political crime. So yes, you should have got a pardon.
And
Same
that's
thing
my
with me.
whole point.
So, well, that's what I'm saying to you. Same thing with me.
Yes.
If I was not sent to Ukraine by Trump and Rudy to go put pressure on, I would have never went to prison. I would have never been indicted. But I got indicted and went to prison for listening, taking orders from the president of the United States. So they're both political. They both should have been pardoned. Forget about who you or I am, if we're good or bad people, because that's a fact. And I agree with you on that. And that's why I think, the way the Democrats handle, and that's why Trump is doing what he's doing. That's what we talk about and we
Right.
scream about. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to compare our situation to Hunter's or anybody else's, because every situation is different. Now, talking about what's going to happen is, I agree 100% that these people are going to get indicted. You're going to see Fauci get indicted. You're going to see Adam Schiff get indicted. You're going to see what's it called?
Miles Taylor.
Well, Miles said, but you're going to also see people. I'm wouldn't be surprised that you see Liz Cheney get indicted, because one of the things that they're doing, and Adam Kissinger, because one of the things and I know Adam, is out there and saying, bring it on, but they don't understand what is taking place behind the scenes right now. Is they have their own committee right now being set up to bring information about how the January 6th committee was set up to this. Again, they're changing history. What I'm saying? To bring it out to show that the January 6th committee was in fact, corrupt. And if they could show that the January 6th committee was corrupt and everything they did, then it becomes this whole conspiracy case against all of these people to take down the president of the United States. Again, so these are the things that was, it's going on. And the fact that the way the Bidens ran out of office and left us holding the bag,
Hmm.
the way now, the disgusting part, I'll tell you this much, is that the fact that now they're all making money off of it. You got all of them writing books. They're all out there, even
Right.
even Kamala Harris. I mean, you know what? I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Like, now you write a book talking about all this shit now in the middle of why? Like, you don't have enough money, or you can't write the book after Trump's presidency. Like, I didn't write my book right away. I didn't go on what's it called? Talk about stuff like right now. I have a lot of shit I could talk about, but I'm not talking about it because I want to preserve the evidence just in case if I ever have to testify in court. So just like I did in the last stuff, why are they all of a sudden doing it? Why is also Jean Pierre, out there talking about how the Democrats? Why are you taking all of these people? Look at Zance and all of the people that were in the White House doing all of these things. You see the clips of them behind the scenes giving interviews, now saying all of a sudden, oh, I know Biden didn't tell me, or I didn't do this, or I would this. Listen, the truth of the matter is, and that's why I always said, there'll come a time and a place when we will revisit that question.
All these questions
All
will
these
get
questions.
revisited because
Correct.
you're right. When we retake, whether it's the House or the Senate, at that point in time, investigations will be open. There will be hearings, but legitimate hearings. Today, if you were going to have a hearing, the chair of the committee basically shuts down every decent question that's asked. It's like, Dean, if you ask me a question, hey Michael, tell me about whatever it might be, and I say, oh, Dean, why don't you go fuck yourself in Macy's window? And all the Republicans cheer me on for it. And I said, and while you're at it, right, why don't you jackhammer yourself right up your asshole? And now they're all ecstatic and elated, and they don't know what the fuck to do first, second, or third.
And
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 then
and
the
then just
chair
a quick
turns
aside,
around,
I'm kind of turned on right now, by the way.
and
Anyway,
then the
continue.
chair turns around and says to the Democrats, who's saying this is completely fucking improper. This isn't the type of language, this isn't the type of behavior that is supposed to take place in chamber, right? And so on. And he's like, I'm putting, we're going to allow this questioning. Or you ask a question, the guy gives you some amorphous type of response that's completely non responsive, but stays on their talking point. Well, it's all about Joe Biden and the auto pen. I was talking to you about the price of the tariffs with China, right? And also, and it's like, allow him to answer the question. Point of order. There is no point of order. Quiet, right? Or we're going to censure you. This is the problem. There is no legit. And the worst part is every time one of these fake hearings goes on, it costs the American taxpayer money. And not only that, it floods the entire ecosystem of fake news with more fake news. It's insane. But Lev is right. What's going to ultimately happen is when we take it back, and it's why we constantly say, Lev, look, there's a couple of people like, Michael, why are you being mean to Lev? Michael's never mean to Lev. Lev is my brother, right? We do our shows together. We speak just about every single day. So Lev is my brother for a long time, right? Brothers can turn around and have a disagreement. Doesn't mean I'm saying anything wrong to him. So folks, take it easy. I know we love Lev, but I'm not a bad guy either here, right? I'm just a lot funnier than Lev and a lot cruder. Right? Yeah, brothers argue. Right? But Lev is 100% correct about this, because when we take back the house, and do not take your foot off the gas. The second we take our foot off the gas, we're doomed. Right? We cannot allow. Here's the crazy thing. I wrote this in my Substack yesterday. So if you look at the Democrats' favorability numbers, it's like they're at 40%. Right? 40% favorability, meaning they're underwater by 60. And you say, that's great for Democrats. The only problem is Democrats are 32% favorability. So I'm saying to myself, holy crap, how could the Democrats be less favorable than the Republicans when you have the government shutdown, you have the loss of snaps, you have the increase in the premiums, the loss of health care to veterans, to the elderly, Medicare, Medicaid. You have all of this chaos being brought. How could Democrats be more unfavorable than this group of thieves, right? Because there's really no other way to put it. Well, I don't have the answer for that, other than to say, as Trump continues to wreck our economy, as he continues to end up dismissing the fact that 42 million Americans, 17 million children, approximately 10 million elderly are going to be going without food and sustenance and so on. When that ultimately hits, let me be very clear. Every one of those 17 million has somebody attached to them, or at least two people. Children, grandchildren, maybe great grandchildren, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, it doesn't matter. And that's when we're going to see. That's when we're going to start really seeing numbers reflective of what's going on.
And from pardons to parties, talking about the weekend roundup. I don't know even how to start or where to start with what I saw at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. Obviously, Michael, you know Trump really well. You know he's got a penchant for parties and showgirls and nostalgia. You've obviously been around him. You know the connections between him and Epstein. Epstein had very similar
No, I
parties.
don't.
You,
No,
you don't know the
no,
connection between yeah, okay.
no. I don't. I was never. Do you know? I've never met. I've never met Epstein. I never
Really?
spoke.
You
I
never met him
never met.
once?
I never met Epstein. I never spoke to Epstein. I never texted, emailed, communicated with him ever in my entire life. I'm not even sure if I've ever been in the same restaurant as him, and we only live 13 blocks away from each other. I've never met him. Remember, I started with Trump in 2007. Epstein was out of Trump's life in 2004. So the answer is I do not.
Okay, so let's leave that aside and we'll talk about it another time. But you are familiar with the pictures and the videos of the dress up parties and the flapper girls and
Oh, I've
you
seen
know
them.
okay, good. That's where I wanted to start.
You bet. Mike, were you at the last party I was at of his? Was when he won? What was it, 2007? The New Year's Eve party right before the inauguration. What was
The
that?
New
2000
Year's Eve party
at
before the
Mar-a-Lago, right before the.
I wasn't there. I was overseas with my
Okay.
family.
That was similar to what we were seeing play out yesterday. I could tell you.
Oh, so you've seen some of these parties. You were there, right?
Oh,
Like you.
Yeah, well,
I've
that's
been
what I'm
to
saying.
some of those
I was at.
fundraising parties.
Okay, well,
Sure.
this is what
Yeah,
this is what I'm asking. I mean, what I
yeah.
watched this weekend is he's trying to outrun the Epstein files. Blew my fucking mind. Like, not only is it, to your point, is he trying to starve 17 times all those other people attached to those 17 million people by, reducing SNAP benefits and not actually funding SNAP for 42 million people. That's the actual number. Not only is he doing that to try and rip Medicaid from 20 million people, not only is he enriching himself to the tune of $894 million in the first 10 months, that's just in cash from crypto, not the actual number, not the nut, not the bucket. But this last weekend, and I'm sure you've seen the visuals, he had flapper girls dancing, rubbing themselves, guys ogling these girls, hot babes in shot glasses on Mar-a-Lago with their legs spread. I mean, it was, and he called it a great Gatsby party. That is, he said, was privately fun, but in no way do we know that. And I guarantee Donald Trump doesn't spend anybody's money other than other people's money, and you know that. He's not going to fucking splash out for that party. He might make other people pay for it. But what I saw this weekend was a completely fucking tone deaf Halloween Great Gatsby party. To your point, Michael, while he's trying to starve 42 million fucking Americans. But it was very Epstein theme esque. And that's the part that I fucking can't get over. Not only were the optics terrible, but the optics lean into this thing that he's running away from desperately. I don't know who wants to weigh in on this. And no, Michael, I'm not accusing you of going to an Epstein party. But Lev, maybe you can kind of jump in here too, because you've been to these.
Can I say something? Because we have a lot
Yeah.
of people. We have a lot of people, and they're always responding. Cohen knows more. Do you think I wouldn't have said something? More than any other human being on this planet, I testified before Congress 7 times, 9 hours a clip. I testified before 2 grand juries. I was the key witness in two cases, the Attorney General and the Manhattan DA case. Do you really think if there was something there that I wouldn't have already said it? On top of that, when this shit was going on, fucking people, start using your motherfucking minds. I was a junior or a senior in high school. I was in law school when this shit was going on. I didn't come into Trump's orbit until 2007. Trump was finished with the guy in 2004, 2005. I mean, this whole notion. Yeah, I've seen the photos, the same photos that each and every one of you have seen on the news. I wasn't privy to anything special. I wasn't involved in any of this
All
crap.
right.
And I keep trying to
And
explain that to people.
And I'm
That's
not no,
why,
I'm not
but
accusing you, and
that's
you're going to get
why,
people, but you're going to get people coming in here going, you know more, because
yeah,
everybody thinks you know
fuck
more,
them.
right? Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
well,
So just
also,
I don't care
you
about
guys,
them. All I
you
care
also,
about is that,
I just want to say one thing on Michael's behalf, also, that you guys gotta understand that the things that transpired, because I know, not because I was completely a young kid at that time, but I know a lot of the people and travel. Those of you saw my documentary, read my book, know that I've dealt with a lot of oligarchs, a lot of rich people, a lot of people in that world of. It was a different time. 1990s, the time, 1980s and 90s, what we're talking about, when Epstein and Trump were together, and all of these type of things that were was going on, compared to what was happening in 2007, 10, and then already, you're talking about almost 30 years apart of a
yeah.
different generation of what, even, Trump being 30 and Trump being 60 something, it's also different people, different. So it was, we got to keep that in mind, that,
Well, and listen, the banking information would bear that out too. What Michael's saying and what you're saying is because that the J.P. Morgan Chase suspicious activity reports, 4,700 pages of it came out this
yeah.
weekend, and everything starts in 2007. Like that's when they really started to pick up. Who was paid for what? Over $1 billion went
I
to
But
in and
that's
out of Trump's hands
but
to Russia, to women, to
well,
massage
that's what I was going to
parlors,
say to
etc.
you.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to say to you is that also, but that doesn't. I truly believe that yes, Trump might have not had a relationship with Epstein where they were fuck you buddies and they called each other and they went to parties, and that's why, like Michael says, he didn't see him in that world. But I truly do believe that they were still their worlds intertwined when it came to the financial stuff, like with people like from the Mellon Bank, for like people from Russia and others that financially intertwined, and they somehow still had that, because like we talk about, when it comes to Epstein, it's not just the horrendous crimes that have been committed onto the young children, the women, the girls, the
Yeah, that was
pedophiles.
just a tactic, right?
That was yeah, that was one of them. But there's also a lot that we still need to know. We spoke with with Zev. We did that special about the financial crimes, about the links between Russia, Israel, other, the UK. Why certain people were targeted. There's a lot more to the Epstein files than just that, and that's not to in any way limit that. But again, I don't think this is, right now we're not here to attack Michael. Of Michael, no
No.
thing I could tell you. No, I'm saying to our crowd there's, I could tell you from knowing Michael, you might not agree or like what sometimes he brings it raw, and that's why it is the way it is. But if he would have known something or had some right now evidence to be able to give you about Trump, Epstein, or anything else, he
Oh,
would
that would have been out a long time ago.
believe me, he would be the first one right now.
Yeah.
It's also, by the way, why I'm one of the most vocal on television, on Substacks, on my own, you name it. I keep calling for the release of the full unredacted files, the Epstein crime files, except for the names of these women, because they deserve the right to decide if their names are put out there. They don't need to be victims second time or third time around. So I am 100% adamant that those files must be released. And it's why I constantly say call your members of Congress, call your senators, call the White House. You can go online, you could lodge a complaint. Adelita Grijalva, the representative from Arizona, needs to be sworn in so that 218th vote gets cast in order to demand that the DOJ releases it. And you know what? There will come a time, no doubt, there will come a time when those files are released and those naysayers that want to constantly throw me into every one of anything that's disgusting or demeaning to Trump, needs to throw me into it. You, very much like the fucking stupid Steele dossier, will owe me an apology. Not that I'll ever get it, but at least I can give you the two fingers salute.
With both hands, I imagine, right? With both hands, Michael. There you go. There's the two fingers. Take me inside those parties, Lev, because what I saw this weekend was fucked. The tone deaf nature and the optics of it being one thing, but Trump has one speed. I mean, he loves to hold court, and what I saw this weekend and what he's being panned for during a time where he's trying to rip benefits from people and starve Americans. Take me inside what those parties are like at Mar-a-Lago. I've never been. You have. You both have. What's it like?
Well, that's what's the whole thing. I mean, first of all, there's nothing wrong with the party he threw. It's the timing, the optics, and the illusion. Because when you take a look at the actual, like the theme, Gatsby. I mean, billionaires throw those type of parties all the time. I mean, overboard birthday parties, weddings. I mean, there's no end to the degree they do. But I agree with you. Throwing that theme of a party, especially for a Halloween party. It wasn't even like, this some huge, it's Halloween, during a time when the government is shut down, during a time where benefits are being shut off, to do it. I think the optics, we could agree or agree, but that's Donald Trump because he doesn't care. The other thing I want to mention that nobody talks about, but I think is extreme. I'm sorry, I'm getting bitten up by a mosquito here. I keep attacking me, but it's one
The,
mosquito
the
just like
fucking
attacking me.
Republican mosquitoes
It's like
go ahead and attack
attacking
Lev.
me.
Go ahead and give him fucking rabies. We've got him. We finally got him. These are mosquitoes from Russia. They're Russian mosquitoes that attack Russian bad people because Lev is a bad guy.
I love it. I love when he does that.
Well done, sir. Well done. Well done. The MAGA mosquitoes are attacking Lev in his
MAGA
house.
mosquitoes got you.
They got
They're
it.
going to infect him with Rudy Colludi, drunken Giuliani disease. Very soon, his hair is going to be dripping down the side of his head. He's going to be rambling and shitting on himself, wearing a fucking diaper. He's going to be wearing clothes that are 4 sizes too big, and he's going to be sweating profusely from his eyebrows. Lev, you're fucked. I told you not to mess with me. When you punch on me, you get punched 10 times harder.
Yeah, I love that.
Michael Cohen should be on stage.
Yeah,
Fuck the Substack gig, dude. You
yeah.
need to tour the country and just
I'm
do a
telling you.
series of those
I was gonna say that. I
impersonations.
was like, you
Wait,
fucking bad.
wait.
I was gonna say that. There you go.
Hey, oh, there you are, buddy.
Hey, how you doing?
Nice. He's Elvis now.
Uh,
Sorry, Lev. Continue before
yo.
that incredible soliloquy from Mr. Cohen.
Oh, I was gonna say, listen, I think the important part, what I talk about always, and I think what we need to keep our focus on is, it's not what you see in plain sight, is what you see in the background and nobody talks about. Yes, the party was disgusting because of the optics, because it's a
Mhm.
time when, millions of people are gonna be starving. You're throwing such a lavish party. B, during you're trying to cover up on the Epstein files and you're throwing a theme called The Great Gatsby. So where it's kind of that does that whole optics doesn't look good. But the one
Well,
thing
and
that
F. Scott
oh,
Fitzgerald wrote *The Great Gatsby* to point out the great disparity between the elitist,
the
most rich
elitist and
people
the
in America
right.
and all the people that they party
So,
on their heads. Right? Like that was also symbolic. Anyway, continue. Don't mean to interrupt.
no, you're 100% right. But the biggest thing is take a look that they were all there. Take a look how they all when he holds court. They all are there, from Judge Jean Piero to Marco Rubio to Pete Hegseth to, I mean, they're all. You gotta take a look. Like it's like when the king holds court, they're all there. Doesn't mean if it's
Did you
Halloween.
see his face? Did you see how fucking happy he was this weekend?
That what I'm saying, but that's what I'm trying to say to you. It's like they're all there to please the king. Like you've never seen these type of optics in
Yeah.
American, I think, presidency before. And then the way how he responded. By the way, did you hear how he responded today about when he was asked about Prince Andrew? He go, "What a shame." What a shame that that family's going through that he got stripped of his
Yeah.
prince
Not the victims, not Virginia Giuffre. What a shame. Must be really tough for the family to have to excommunicate a serial pedophile from their royal ranks. Like, what a shame. But to your point, watching Trump get like the adulation, the beam, like you never see him that happy when he's, standing behind a pulpit or he's addressing the nation. You never see him that happy. And he was literally surrounded by people who looked like they were from the 30s and 40s, surrounded by adulation, surrounded by hot babes, surrounded by flapper girls, surrounded by women in shot glasses doing the splits. Like that was the happiest I have seen Donald Trump maybe ever.
Dean, 80% of that group that was there, I'm talking about the men who are like, 100 years old, regardless that they may be married to their fourth wife who's in their 30s. Their peckers are limpless, lifeless, and useless except to connect their bladder to their diaper. Short of that, all right, it's a fucking waste. You want to go and there's a beautiful girl in a fucking martini glass, and so on. The guy's sitting there, Donald, Donald, you're the best, Donald, Donald, hold on, somebody get me my medication. I mean, that's it. And then some of those women that are there, their fucking noses are peeled back behind their ears. Let me be clear. My father is a retired head and neck reconstructive surgeon, right?
Yeah.
And so
Could have
he,
made some
he would
money
be the
there on the
first.
weekend.
He'd be the first one to tell you after your sixth facelift, you may want to stop because if you keep pulling the skin up and up and up, very soon you're going to be wearing a beard.
Yeah, I
Okay,
saw a
but
lot
let
of older
me,
women with
you know,
goatees.
it's like all of a sudden they're going to be pulling it from their pubis all the way to their face. They're going to be wearing a beard. They just keep pulling it and cutting and pulling and pulling. I mean, listen, grow old gracefully, not like these folks. But we now have a name. We have now come up with a name for
What's
these
that?
mosquitoes that are attacking. These are Fauci mosquitoes, and when they're biting you, you're gonna get the Fauci ouchie. All right, and the Fauci ouchie is gonna make you go crazy. It's called Mad Hatter's disease. It's like mercury poisoning. You all know mercury, right? It comes from the planet Mercury. It's a little far away, but don't worry, Elon will get us
He'll
there.
get us there
He'll
on one
Elon
of
get
his
us
Musk.
big,
there.
beautiful rockets.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to look like a giant penis, and it's going to go flying straight through, right through the Milky Way.
I heard Trump's renaming it. No longer the Milky Way, it's the American way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh fuck! Talk about a list of things I never thought I'd hear today. This is right up there. Colin, you're on fire, dude. I
yeah,
don't.
the
Did you?
Fauci ouchie out. Make
I
sure
didn't.
you take your antibiotics.
I
But
didn't
not
even want to.
Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol.
Oh, by the way, did you see RFK Jr. Walk that one back this last week? He's like,
Oh,
I
really?
was only suggesting Tylenol was bad. We're not too sure yet. Did you see that?
Yeah, he probably bought stock in Tylenol after it tanked, and Johnson. Yeah, but I do. I
Ah,
agree with. By the way, I absolutely agree with Lev. I've been to Mar-a-Lago dozens and dozens of times, and I have no problem with them or anybody. Look, Halloween parties went on at every private club around the entire country. All you have to do is go on Instagram. You'll see anybody that you know. They were posting photos and so on. But the President of the United States, there comes a point in time that you need to put yourself above your own wishes and wants. By the way, it costs the American taxpayers over $3.5 million getting him back and forth, Secret Service, all that other crap. I should do stand up. But the thing that bothered me, as Lev appropriately put it, it's the optics.
yeah,
You have now 42 million Americans are going to be suffering. All right. And, I've written it, Dean, in my Substacks and so on. Lev and I both understand the concept of hunger because what they did to me on my unconstitutional remand, they did, if I'm not mistaken, to Lev also. We've spoken about it, where on purpose they just forget to come by and drop you off a meal. 3 days. I went for 3 days with no food. All right. It's fucking cruel. It hurts. And it's not just that, it hurts in your stomach, it hurts in your bones, it hurts in your soul. It causes nothing but despair. You have, after a while, the lack of food. It's horrible. So to be that blind to what Americans are experiencing or going to seriously experience,
is
it's
it blind or
death. It's
intentional
death to
though?
the country.
Is it blind or intentional?
I
It's
think it's a
intentional.
combination. I think it's a combination of both.
It's a combination. I'm with you, Lev.
Because I think, first of all, it's it's blind because it's intentional. Like they like they don't, it's like they don't give a shit. And and then that's why it's blind and intent, just like they're doing everything else that you're seeing that takes place. Like, what I'm saying to you, just think
Yeah.
about his comment. Out of, we were speaking about the 60-minute interview. Like, the one thing that really got me out of that whole thing, I mean, there was a lot of, first of all, the fact that he put out today the whole what, hour and something, or 47-minute clip. 60-minute, but 20, clipped it to 27 minutes. The White House put out the whole thing today to make it's even more worse.
Yeah.
Than you. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But the scary part, that I don't know if you guys caught that, and because I when I watch Trump talk, I watch these little things to see where he's really heading. And he was asked one thing that his answer was when she asked him. She said, "Well, what is your response? We're seeing kids getting dragged off the street. We're seeing ICE attacking American citizens. We're seeing all of these things happen. Do you feel that this is a little excessive?" And he looked her in the face and said, "No, absolutely not. It's not strong enough."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Think about
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think about that. Think about what he says. Like, no, I mean, like, the fact that and we're sitting here talking about how, as American citizens, we're losing our rights every day, and then you see the president of the United States saying that that's not strong enough.
Well,
That
that's why I think the starvation of 42 million people is intentional. That's why I think the attempt to starve people into forcing the Democrats into letting him steal, take away Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare, ACA from 20 million people. This is the bargain. That's intentional, right? That's what Donald Trump does. He gives with one hand and takes away with the other to keep you in fucking no man's land. And I watched that this last weekend with the whole, well, I can be the hero and give you guys your snap, and I'll really look into it. But he was the guy who intentionally forced the defunding of SNAP for
but
42 million people.
but the crazy part, crazy,
what
but
about
I'm
the
sorry,
comments
but Michael,
from
but hold on, I'm sorry, but the crazy part is that's all part of the plan. What he's doing, which he's going to end up against Gruen, because watch what he does. In a few days, all of a sudden, he's going to release SNAP benefits to a certain portion of people, and he's going to use it as the Democrats are screwing you, but I'm going out there and finding ways of helping you. Just like, think about it, where he's going out there and paying the military. I wrote about it in my Substack. There's a reason why he's paying the military, because when you're in a situation with the country and everybody is now thinking about how to feed themselves and feed their families and get through the holidays, and all of a sudden, here you are, you knowing if you're loyal to a certain person, you could be okay. Your family could be okay. Like, let me go get right now. People are getting fired, but I could go become an ICE
but
agent and get a $50,000 bonus.
Yeah, but
Towards
Lev, the problem with the 130 million that's been donated by this kid Mellon, towards payments of the military, it amounts to something like 15 or 18% of what their salary would be. So it's
right.
not 130 million ain't going to do much. We have like a 2.6 million person freestanding army. Even if you pay them $14 an hour, whatever, it doesn't amount to because of the number of people. But I also wanted just to bring up a point that is not getting nearly enough attention. We all know that Stephen Miller is a
The
fucking
Antichrist?
he's just a cruel, disgusting human being. All right. Amazing though, he married someone just like himself. Did you see the comments coming out of his wife's mouth over the course of this week? I cannot believe that I can't imagine what their spawn must be like. It'd be like the Exorcist
You saw
spinning the
Pierce
head
Morgan?
around in circles and spitting pea soup everywhere.
Did
I
you see
mean,
the Did you
just
see the Pierce
just two
Morgan?
fucking disgusting human beings who lack any humanity, any humility, any compassion or empathy for the plight of another person.
Yeah.
It's
It-
horrible.
and
Did
horrifically disingenuous. Sorry, Lev, go ahead.
Did you see what they did? What she did on Pierce Morgan? I mean,
Yeah.
she literally was on Pierce Morgan, and she turned around to another gentleman that was commenting, and
Cenk
because
Uygur, yeah, from
yeah,
Young Turks. Yeah. Yeah.
from Young Turks, and because she didn't agree with what he was saying, she basically said, we're gonna check into your
Into your
status.
citizenship
Your
application.
your citizenship status. And the crazy part about that, just think about now what they do, how they project. They go out threatening to take away your citizenship because they don't like what you're saying, and then the next day they go in and move into a military facility to be protected. because now they're under, because they're correct me if I'm wrong, but Stephen Miller is part
Yeah, he
of the
checked into Trump's green zone. It's a military base. Generals Row moved in. Do you know why he did that? He did that because his neighbors in his Arlington, Washington, D.C. community were using sidewalk chalk saying, "You're a fucking Nazi" in front of his house. And when he would walk out to his car in the morning, everybody would give him the finger and call him a fucking Nazi. And then, his wife got into it with one of the female neighbors, where the female neighbor comes over. She says, "I want you to know you're disgusting. I want you to know your husband's disgusting. And I want you to know this entire neighborhood's going to keep our eyes on you." And so she then called everybody in that neighborhood, to your point, anti-Semitic, like she did with Sank the other day, because he just had an issue with her husband. She goes, "He's a great man, and the reason why you're saying this is because he's anti-Semitic. My children have been attacked for being Jewish," and nobody mentioned him being Jewish once.
What's
Nobody.
funny is Senk happens to be a friend of mine, you know? So, I mean, and by the way, Stephen, just so you know, my father happens to also be a Holocaust survivor. So if I'm telling you that the guy is not anti Semitic, the guy's not anti Semitic. We may have difference of opinions on things, but that doesn't make you an anti Semite. I'll tell you one thing, Stephen Miller is an anti-humanite. He just fucking hates everybody. I mean, he literally wants to see the world burn. And you ask, and you remember that famous
Is he
line
as
from
shitty in
Batman?
person? Hang on, is he as shitty in person? You guys have met him. Is he as much of a fucking narcissistic piece of shit?
No. By the way,
No?
dude, when I knew Stephen
I will tell
Miller,
you. I will
he
tell you.
was this
All
mouse
right.
that used to sort of sit in the corner. Nobody listened to him, nobody talked to him.
Yeah.
He was sort of like, if he was there or not there, you didn't know either way. Completely irrelevant. He was, just a guy that would write shit and hand it off to whether it
He
was
would write
Steve
his speech.
Bannon.
He would help write with the speeches. He was like say
Yeah.
the back in the day. And just to give you a little one, it was funny. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. I gotta clip it and show it to you guys, about how she went on, Stephen Miller's wife went on Lara Trump's show, and they're talking about it, and she starts talking about his morning routine. She goes, "You understand? He's such an incredible American. He wakes up in the morning and stands in front of the mirror and goes practices his speeches."
No way.
Did you, by the way, speaking about Laura Trump,
Beautiful
I want to
voice.
be honest about something here. That what's the craziest thing is they are all out of their mind. It's like they forget that they work for the American people, not the American people work for them and have to put up with their nonsense. She was mad, Laura, because she wanted to perform at the Super Bowl. Instead, they're having Bad Bunny.
Hold
No,
it, hold it,
no,
hold it, hold it, hold it, hold
stop.
it.
You,
She legitimately was angry because she wasn't chosen to sing at the halftime of the
yeah,
Super Bowl this year.
yeah.
So they're
So, I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine between her and Countess Luann from the Housewives? They're going to sit there. Man can't buy your class. I mean, it's you sit there and you're like, you've got to be shitting me. Could you imagine how fucked up that Super
Do
Bowl
you know
would
how
be?
up your ass you have to be, even if you are Laura Trump, to
no,
listen?
but
Like, if you've like that is
Man
insane.
can't
I
buy
gotta
your
give,
class.
I gotta give you guys one better than
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that. So what they're doing is, it's not even the Super Bowl. So they're planning on boycotting the Super Bowl halftime show because of Bad Bunny. So Kid Rock and all of these people, conservatives, are putting on a halftime show simultaneously, and Lara Trump couldn't even get into that halftime.
I mean, she can sing, but she's not a halftime
No, she
Super
can't.
Bowl
No, she
singer.
can't. She can't sing, dude. She is so fucking tone deaf. There's so much auto tune just to be able to make it somewhat palatable for fucking German shepherds. There is no way that woman can sing. Oh my God, you're being too nice. Yeah, it's a Turning Point USA halftime Super Bowl show that sits alternative to it, which in all that MAGA wisdom, don't say these guys aren't smart. Don't say they're not smart. Puerto Rico, they're mad because a Puerto Rican's doing the halftime show and some of his music's going to be in fucking Spanish. Some of it's going to be in Spanish. And they're like, Puerto Rico isn't the United States. Guess what? I got news for you. It is.
But it reminds me of like the movie Coming to America. Remember when the guy was singing at the church? Look, that boy can sing. That boy can sing. Could you imagine all these MAGA morons? They're, wow, she's really great. She's really great. Let's go to Apple's store and let's go buy her song. We'll make it our theme song to our telephone when mom rings.
Yeah,
Mommy
yeah.
can't buy you clothes.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it today, ladies and gentlemen. The week in review. I got to tell you, boys, that was the most fun I've ever had with my pants on. So thank you both.
Yeah. Are you wearing pants? Or are you pulling
Uh,
a Jeffrey Tubin on us?
Not quite, because pulling a Jeffrey Tubin means I get caught whacking off in the middle of the actual Zoom call.
This fucking world is out of control, man. It's out of control.
And the fact that Jeffrey Tubin
I
got his
was
job
sitting
back, I
watching a
mean,
great
hey.
episode. I'm sitting watching a great episode of Storage Wars, where at least Brandy finally got herself a decent locker, and all of a sudden I see a notification come up, bing bing on my phone. Lev and Dean are on. I'm like, let me see what the fuck these two idiots are talking about. Next thing I know, I'm popping up here. I'm doing a comedy stand up free of charge. Right. And so I'm using almost all my good material here. I'm gonna have to start writing it all over again.
You got to
Lev,
get more material,
Lev,
Michael.
Lev gave me some great material with the Fauci ouchie and the mosquitoes, and now all of a sudden I lost that too. I would have used it on stage, but no.
Well,
This was actually a blast, Dean. Thank
oh,
you for
dude,
bringing
thanks for
up
doing
Lev.
this. Oh, fuck,
Always good
anytime.
to see you, brother.
I think you know what I think we need to do. We need to turn this into a bit of a lighthearted Monday weekend roundup where we do this on Mondays together. Because again, I didn't know whether to laugh or fucking puke for the past like 40 minutes. So in so many beautiful ways,
Look,
guys.
by the way,
Thanks.
we need to laugh. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, for
not
sure.
joking. I'm not joking, folks. We need to laugh and we need to poke fun at the level of stupidity that we are being asked to deal with on a daily basis.
Well,
And
that's the
I'm
fourth wall. We need to mock it. We need to laugh at it. We got to have fun with it. I mean, at the same time, we also need to be able to stand up for democracy, stand up for decency, stand up for critical thinking and self awareness, still be a Sherpa to people to explain things to them. But my God, if we can't fucking have fun with it at this point, it's been 10 years for Christ's sake.
And let's make sure that each and every one of you, there's only so much, and we say it all the time on our show, mine, Lev, and Malcolm, and other shows that I'll bring Lev on to horse around as well. We need your help. Go to that Chiron at the top. Cross pollinate. If you subscribe to me, please subscribe to Dean and subscribe to Lev, and all vice versa, and all combinations thereof. The most important thing is we are doing our best organically to grow this community, because if we don't win the midterm elections, if we don't take either the House, the Senate, or both, I'm telling you right off the bat, the country that you grew up in is not the country your children, grandchildren, and future generations will. We don't have an option at this point. So help us to grow this. I always say the same thing as I'm finishing the show with Lev and Malcolm. I always say, because there's nobody better, Lev, take us out.
Well, Michael is said 100%. And the one thing that, if those of you that read my Substack, those of you that join Dean, join all of us, and you hear we talk about the same thing, it's strength in numbers. And the first thing, we talk about is, building this platform. It's not a platform anymore. We use a different word. It's a family, because we're the things that we're doing, the cross pollination, bringing people up, joining it. This is something that history is going to judge each and every one of us, and that's why I say to everyone, if you close your eyes for 1 second, so you don't have to look at Michael wear those funny glasses, and you could just imagine for yourself, oh, well, if I did everything I could today to be able to save our democracy, like, what else can I do? Can I take this and restack it? Can I make a comment in here? Can I share it with another friend? Can I go out there and write a letter to my congressman or congresswoman? Can I make a phone call to my senator and tell them what's going on? Because each and every one of you is an extension of our voice, an extension of our message, and that's why it's so important. So, with that said, make sure to subscribe because subscribing is for free. That helps the algorithms. All of these platforms are built on algorithms. The more subscribers we have, the more viewers we have, the more these algorithms put it out and let other people see it. Because our job is to get it out of the echo chamber, because and to get it out into the full world. And for those of you to allow us to be able to continue doing this with no paywalls, to be able to do this for free, it's all because of the paid subscribers. It's all because each and every one of you that are blessed and able to help us to be able to support us by becoming paid subscribers that allow us to continue to do what we do. And because believe me when I tell you, it's not fun, looking over your shoulder every day thinking, are you going to get
Mm.
arrested? Are you going to get indicted? Are you going to get a brick thrown at your head because somebody
Threatened at the fucking
disagrees with
grocery store too.
grocery?
Yeah, let's add that one in there.
Exactly. So we're here doing it not because it's fun or because, this is a reality show, but we're doing it because we're in a real war to save our democracy. So each and every contribution counts, each and every paid subscription counts, each and every regular subscription counts. So please, family, do what you do and go out there, press that little gray button, cross pollinate. And it's a long day. We saw a lot going on. Michael has things happening. Dean has the Substack. And tonight, I'm going to do my special. So stay alert, put your notifications on, and we'll see you later on the day. God
What
bless
time
you.
is Lev? What time is your special?
I don't know yet. I'm figuring out with my wife either 8 or 9 o'clock
Oh,
tonight.
good, because I'm on at 4 with Anand Giridadis.
Perfect.
So to those of you that subscribe, make sure it's free for it's. This is not a non-paid one, so this is for everybody. So don't worry about it. Four
Okay.
o'clock, I'm on with Anand.
So you're at 4. You might be at 8 or 9 if you subscribe to either one of these gentlemen by slamming that chyron at the top. It says Dean Blundell, Ev Parnas, Michael Cohen. You'll immediately subscribe to all of us. And again, to your point, you are the lifeblood. Paid subs get all the extras, but we try to keep it as cheap and as instant for everybody that subscribes to all of us. It doesn't matter who you are. Sharing this is important. Hammering those hearts is important. That little box. Share this with as many people as you possibly can. If you found this fun, because it is, and if B, you found this interesting, and C, you got some life affirmation about the information you're not getting anywhere else. These two gentlemen continue to put their lives on the line. These two gentlemen continue to do God's work, and I'm just happy to be able to ride along with you guys and try to make sense of the craziness. But boys, thanks for doing this. We'll catch up again very soon. We'll talk to you later, Live. Thanks, guys.
Take
So
care.
long, farewell.
See you, boys. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thank you,
There you
folks.
go. Michael Cohen, Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen, both of them former Trump fixers and turned whistleblowers and all around good individuals. God, that was fun, wasn't it? And Michael's right. You have to be able to laugh at this stuff. You have to. You have to be able to enjoy the lighter moments because it is so dark. You have to be able to encourage people to see the lighter side of this, or else we're going to lose our minds. Going to lose our goddamn minds. And I, for one, am not about that. What a weekend in Trump's America. Once again, thanks to Michael Cohen. Thanks to Lev Parnas. Please subscribe to both of those gentlemen. DeanBlundell.substack.com is where you can find me. I'll be back at 3 o'clock this afternoon with my friend Lev Parnas. We want you in the chat. Free subs get to watch everything. We do not paywall anything. However, the chat and being able to be brought up so you can chat with us, as always, the Q&A, having input, getting access to exclusive content from myself and Lev at narrative.org, deanblundell.substack.com. And right now at my Substack, you get 25% off. And here's a little, I didn't want to say anything, but I've reduced basically every fee, basically every subscription, because it was really important to me and still is that we get as many people on board as humanly possible. So go and take advantage of that 25% off. That is through the month of November. And we reduced subscription prices on the founding, the yearly, and the annual. Lifeblood of what we do is paid subs. The lifeblood of what we do is also free subs and sharing this content and being part of this community. And I cannot thank you enough. It is, as always, the honor of my lifetime to be here with you. Thank you for giving us your time today. We'll see you at 3 o'clock with Mr. Zev Shalev for the 5 Stack, the 5 biggest stories of the day that you need to know. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.